Hey, hey, babies. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And welcome back to the Ascension Network for everybody that's here with us normally. If you guys are new, welcome to the show for the first time. We're going to be doing readings tonight, unlike Monday when Rachel and I got on a little bit of a tear, but it was needed. I think it was a good conversation. It was an in-depth conversation, but it was really, really good. So tonight we're going to work on some readings. Tonight we're going to work on kind of letting go. Tonight we're going to work on getting our heads out of our asses. Tonight we're going to work on all those kinds of things. So if you need to let go of some stuff or get your head out of your ass, tonight's the night. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Brigitte. Hey, Victor. Hey, Carol. Hey, everybody. If you guys are new and watching for the first time, please make sure to jump over to the Ascension Network so that I can see your name in the comments. Otherwise, just put your name in the comments with a question if you'd like a reading, and I'll be happy to attack. Go for it. That's kind of the plan for tonight. And I'm sorry for the sweatshirt, you guys, but, you know, I've been cooking for a couple of hours. It is what it is. And moving. We're in the new house. So everything's good on this side. Hey, everybody. Good to see everybody in. So how's everybody feeling? What's going on with everybody? I know after Monday, I was on the phone a whole lot, lots of people with lots of questions, and it was a lot to kind of absorb. I know we got a lot going on in our universe right now, as always, because it never flipping lets up, does it? It never flipping lets up. The only thing that lets up is our addiction and need to give a flying F. That's kind of the part where we have to back off a little bit. We care too much, and sometimes we're feeding the wrong wolf, right? We have to pay attention to what's going around us, but we have to also be careful not to attach to it. So it's kind of a hard balance somewhere in between. So I guess to get us started tonight, I will do, I'll pull a couple of cards for the collective and kind of see where things are going, and we'll see what's up, okay? You guys have to excuse me. I think I'm coming down with something, so if I'm clearing my throat, my apologies. The card for tonight is a 46, which is a 10. It comes back to a 1. So it's all about us. It's all about us personally, who we are, what's going on inside of us. And this is called Root Girl. It's a disowned self. Isn't that funny? After what I just ranted about, this is what it's about. It's about letting go of all of the beliefs that we've conned ourselves into, all the ideas that we've conned ourselves into to be truth. Truth changes every day based on our scenario. Now, there's some things in this universe that don't change, right? Some of the truths that don't change is how we treat other people and how we treat ourselves. But the truth is that we have to be able to evolve and roll without being in fear all the time. We have to be able to be in that movement. If we're truly going to stay in harmonic and frequency with the universe, it's always changing. It's always moving. And we have to be flexible too. We have to be like an 8-year-old Russian gymnast. We can't be like an 80-year-old grandma from South Carolina trying to squeeze her butt into an easy chair. So we just have to kind of roll with things. Sammy? Oh, hi, Sammy. You're new. Good to see you. I think, Sammy, haven't you been in before? I think I saw you in one time before, but it's good to have you in. So yeah, that's where we are, guys. It's all about not being too rigid, right? About being able to be flexible and move with things so that we don't have to feel so much fear in it. We just had a shooting, actually, a mass shooting here in El Paso tonight. We haven't heard a lot of details about it yet. But in the moment that it happened, I actually had clients that I cooked for calling me freaking out. And I had to calm everybody down while I'm making pasta and say, tranquilissima, no? We can't do anything about it. We can only hold energy and love for the people who are going through it. Nice to have you, Sammy, if it's your first time. So, Sammy, since you're new, if you have a question when we're doing a reading, please ask. I'll get as detailed as I can. Otherwise, if you want a general reading, that's also cool too. So who's going to be the first victim tonight? Who's up first? I love it. I can smell fresh meat. I'm like a shark. There's like blood in the water. I'm joking. But who's going to be first up? Hi, Timothy. Please pull a card when I can. I'm on it. Facebook user, you're showing up as me with all the exclamation marks. I can't see your name unless you sign into the Ascension Network. So do me a favor and put your name in the comment, okay? So I know who I'm talking with. But let me get up to Timothy, and I will kind of pause there for just a second. Oh, hey, Rachel, what's up? All right. Miss Rachel, she couldn't resist being with me. All right, Timothy, let's see what's going on, sweetheart. So for you, I have a 34, which is a 7. And this is all about the lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. Okay. Sevens for me, because it's one of my favorite numbers, are all about kind of mystical fortune, about being able to will the universe. It's not so much luck as it is talent and knowing how to will things. And this is your card. Okay. So I'm going to pull it up like this. It's all about the lay of the land. You're somebody who's constantly digging and investigating and trying to find truth in everything. You're one of those souls. I really appreciate those kind of souls too, but you're one of those souls, a lot like me, where you want to get to the bottom of things. You want to know, right? Like you want to know. You don't want just someone else's opinion. And you can tend sometimes to go a little, I guess, too far down the rabbit hole. So you have to pull yourself back out. Isn't it funny? I love how we always get a theme. We always get a theme. Here it comes. But we have to be really careful with that. And so one of the things is how you investigate other people, how you kind of dig into the nature, almost the psychology of who they are, and try to figure out the world around you. And there's a really interesting aspect to that. On one end, it really pushes you in a point of promotion. And in fact, I see something shifting with you when it comes to like job and money. It feels like things start picking up for you. They start speeding up for you around March 4th, big time. So pay attention to that date. Mark it on the calendar for me. There's also a thing that comes in about you finishing things. And this would have gone back into like October and November. It feels more personal, like it's you, like it's relationships, families, people that you're close with. But I also get the sense that it's like you saying kind of, you know, I'm done with all this BS, although I think you do that a lot. But it feels kind of like that. It feels like you finish them with things. So make sure that you're staying tapped into reality. And by that, I mean your reality, not everybody else's. Our own perception of reality changes depending on who you're talking to, right? And the events of that day. But make sure you stay tapped into yours. Continue to investigate and observe, but do it from a very, very neutral standpoint. Pay attention to this shift that's coming in, that's going to kind of push you coming in around March 4th. Really pay attention to those dates. I like the 2nd through the 4th for you really strongly. I think this month for you, things are going to kind of ramp up and be cruising along. You're going to face a couple of things. It feels like for me, little things, little aggravating things that you have to deal with, like old bills or some kind of old situation that needs to be dealt with. But everything's moving forward for you really, really well. I'll just say, remember, you're the creator of your universe, so be careful what kind of universe you're creating, okay? Yay, first reading of the night. Okay, hey, Miss Jackie. All right, Rachel, I got you there. Let's see how we're doing. I got to go down to Miss Sammy. Miss Sammy would love a general reading. Will be my pleasure. Hey, Christian. It's so good to have you in, sweetie. Chris, if you want a reading, just ask. I'll be happy to do it for you, okay? I'm gonna go up and get with Sammy now, but I'll be happy to jump in and do that. All right, Miss Sammy Hayden, you have a 47, which comes back down to what? A 2, right? So this is about you and other people. This is called the Sky Bridge. It's about the possibility for union. Okay, so this is all about you and relationships and soul connections. It's about you digging for, I hate that word soulmate, because I think it just puts people in a position where sometimes when the right person comes in, they're like, oh, I don't think you're my soulmate. People lose opportunities. But for me, this feels more like that relationship that you're looking for is more with you. So the union for me is you and your soul. It's you and kind of your higher self. And it feels like you're really kind of coming into a moment of awakening and awareness, because I feel like with you a lot, there's been a lot of procrastination, like putting things off, putting life off, putting important things for yourself off. Like you're kind of the one with the gun shooting yourself in the foot. Like it's not really anybody else. And I feel like a lot of that. But I think that part of where you're trying to build union and become your own best friend and find that spirituality and that connection is pushing you to push even further, because you have this really joyful, jovial, youthful, I don't know, energetic about you. I don't want to say new soul, but you feel like a very young soul. So there's a lot of optimism that can also get met with a lot of pessimism. There we go. That's where I think that shooting yourself in the foot thing comes in, because sometimes you've got such big dreams and big wants that when things start to come towards you that start pushing you and provocating you to move forward, you grab out the gun and shoot your big toe and go, oh shit, I can't do that. My foot's hurt, right? Like, I better don't do that. And that's what it feels like. But you're coming into yourself. What you have to really do is pay attention to details. And, I was saying in the beginning, we have to be careful not to attach to a mindset. That's true with you too. Sometimes the not attaching can be as dangerous as attaching. So you're coming to a point now where it's just about getting into a certain mindset. It's about saying, okay, let me kind of slow myself. Let me calm myself a little bit. Let me put like one root in the ground, not a whole lot of roots, but one, just so I can see what that feels like. And it's the mastery of self. I think for you this year, that's where you are. It's all about mastering yourself. That's a big project. I don't envy you on that, but I'm optimistic for you and I'm excited for you, because in that project comes a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun in that. There's a lot of healing and recognition that goes on with that as well. But I think you're going to come through it with shining colors. So I'm excited for you, Sammy. Please come back and let us know how that's moving along, because you're already in it. You're already in that phase. I think it's just getting past that self-sabotage a little bit that needs to happen to kind of propel you to the next thing you're going to do. So if that wasn't what you wanted to know, I'm sorry. You can ask me more detail, but you said general. So generally speaking, that's where it is. But it's a good reading. Sammy, I'm tickled for you. I think it's great anytime somebody's moving through all of that. All right, Miss Rachel, you want to know what's going on with Todd's job. Holy moly. Before I even go there, I just feel so many changes. It feels like people are panicking there, like they're all holding on to straws. You know how when whoever gets the last straw, right, has to do the dirty work. It feels like everybody's gotten the last straw. So we'll kind of see where we're going with this. But what I pulled for you was a 36. It's a 9, obviously. Rachel, you know the meaning of that. It's lost in space and needing direction, ironically. And that's what that place feels like for me. I think there's a whole lot of people there that are frustrated and don't want to be there and are kind of there to save their own ass from things that happened over the last 2 or 3 years. Where Todd is with this, it's been a real salvation for him in being able to have that job, even though he doesn't necessarily love it, but it's been nurturing in a way that it's given him back what he needed to feel some self-esteem again, right? To kind of feel like himself again. But there's definitely some movement there. Again, it comes down to mindset. I think his stability gets rocked when he feels like the people that are supposed to be in charge aren't in charge, right? Like they're not handling it in the way he would handle it. I do feel some completion there. And it almost feels for me like that place is preparing to change hands. So I'm not sure if it's that it's being sold or if it's being passed on to somebody, but there's some movement in that feels like it's going to happen. Tell Todd to ground. I don't think that if he can stay grounded, I don't think this is going to affect him in a negative way so much, although it looks like that right now. I can feel where it feels like, what the F, right? Like what is going on. But if he can sit still in it and just observe, tell him just to stay the course. I feel like everything's going to be okay with him, but there is some massive, massive transition going on in that place for sure. So just tell him not to pick a damn straw, all right? Just stand in the corner and watch everybody else pick a straw. There. All right, let's see what we got. Tim, you're very welcome, sweetie. And Sammy, so are you. You're very welcome. Facebook user who said, I'm just enjoying the show tonight. Oh, well, thanks. Make sure you put in your name in the comments so I know who you are. Oh, Sammy, she said, you get in your own way. Yeah, and that's changing. It is, sweetie. You're really coming into your own, so you're doing good. And apparently, Grace's bark collar that I bought her is not working. I felt bad about putting that on my dog, but I had to. Hi, Melissa. First time. Nice to have you here, sweetie. Very good to have you here. I'm sorry about the dog in the back. Grace, come. The world didn't end. You're fine, Mama. You're fine. Okay. I'll be happy to give you a general read. No problem. And Brigitte, I will get to you absolutely. No worries. Okay. Miss Melissa, Gracie, you're being very rude. All right, Miss Melissa, let's see what we got. We have a 31 card. That's going to come down to a 4. It's called In the Hand. The universe is your partner. Okay. This is an interesting card for me. Can you sit, madam? Please sit. I feel like with you a lot of the times, as optimistic as you naturally are, lately it feels like you're thinking that really like the world's going to shit and the universe is conspiring against you, right? And I get it. I feel that way a lot. I find myself in the flux of being optimistic, but also a severe realist, and that's a weird place to be in today's world. But it feels a lot like that for me with you. And, you know, it's okay to be there. I think there's also this thing where you have such a strong pull to the stability of strong men around you or strong male energy, male figures around you, that it can make you feel a little rocked. There's also the thing, I don't know, Melissa, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but I'm pulling something. This feels like a family relationship for me. You may have to help me out with that, but it feels for me like you have a really hard time trusting that things are going to stay stable, trusting that things are going to stay in a positive way, trusting that things are going to work out in a way where you feel protected. And protection for you is something you covet. I think that's where the strong male roles come in. You really covet leadership and people to make you feel safe, when the truth is that safety has to come from within, right? And so again, there's a weird thing, kind of like what we had coming in earlier, where it feels like you have a job change coming in. There's some changes coming in for you. Now, your changes don't come in so much in the first part of March. I see things shifting for you around the 27th of March, going into around April the 18th. Mark those dates on your calendar. I say this all the time. I don't give dates all the time, but when I do, they're pretty specific. So make sure that you mark those dates. Sometime between the 27th of March and around that time in April, you're going to see some major shifts coming in that way for sure. You have to be very careful with your money, okay? You're not great with money. And this is an aspect where when this shifts in and things are getting better, I also need you to get better with how you manage finances and how you manage things, okay? You need to make sure that that stability is there for you without needing the cushion from other people. So make sure in that area that you're not flexible, that you kind of hold yourself to a certain level of accountability, okay? Because it feels for me like you've had real separation from things lately. And that can rock things. It can rock the way that we sense and feel stability when we've gotten accustomed to having them in a certain way. So pay attention there, and heads up on this movement that you have coming in with money, okay? Be careful in that regard. It's going to be fine, though. It's a good reading. It's not a bad reading. I just shoot it real straight. I mean, sometimes my readings can come off a little negative. They're not at all. They're all out of love, absolutely, but I'm just going to say it how it is. So there we go. Brigitte, you are very welcome, darling. Brigitte, let's see what we got. Okay, let me pull a card for you. I almost said old card and new card. I swear to God, I have Wanda in my head. Brigitte, you've got a 22. This is the Fool's Embrace. It's all about transmuting pain. Okay? Can you see that? Interesting card for you, because you've been carrying so much for so many people for so long that I can absolutely see where that comes in. I will tell you, again, without bringing any negativity into the program, but I have to shoot it straight. I think you have to be very careful with your birds over the next month or two. You guys in Kentucky, that whole line of like Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia, even coming like through lower Ohio, you guys are going to get blazed with another couple of storms that are going to be super heavy. Now, it's not just the one that's coming through now. They're going to keep coming through for a hot minute. Power outages, do you know what I mean? Freezing cold temperatures. So I think in that regard is where I feel the safeguarding of your birds, of your livelihood, and of your joy. There's a certain aspect there, and I want to say that ahead of time so that you kind of know how to get in front of that, right? There's also there's something starting and kicking off in your family. It feels like for me that somebody's going to be pregnant. Just saying, Mamacita, I feel like somebody's coming in. This is like the whole starting of a new subsect of family. Don't be shocked if one of your kids shows up and says, I'm pregnant, or my girlfriend's pregnant, or whatever. But there's like this whole subsect that's kicking off for you. So yeah, just kind of watch that. Feels like one of the boys. I swear to God, I don't know why. It feels like one of the boys. Be prepared. So take care of the birds. I know you do, but make sure you get ahead of this. Maybe this is more insulation in this room. Maybe this is alternative healing. And keep your eyes open for what's going on. Again, it really feels like one of the boys for me. So pay attention with that. Looks like you may be a grandma. If you are, congratulations. I kind of can't wait to get another one. And then there's another side to me. I was having a dream about my daughter last night. And as much as I would love for her to have another child, in the dream I was saying to her, don't do it. Don't do it, right? Things are going to be too crazy for a while. There's going to be too much going on. Don't do it right now. That's just my paranoia, right? But I think you're going to roll with it and have a really good time. Hey, Miss Betty. Hi, Adriana. Adriana, I'll get with you in just a second, okay? You too, Betty. I'll get to you in just a second. Absolutely. Oh, Sammy, thanks. You love my energy? I love yours too. You've got good energy. I'm a hot mess most of the time. It just depends on when it is. Okay, let's see here. For everybody that's coming in as Facebook user, you can actually look in the comments and you'll see who you are, because I don't know your names unless you put them in. I probably know you, but I just don't see your names. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Got Brigitte. Now it's time for Miss Carol. I'm going to take a pause for the cause. Good stuff. Okay. Miss Brigitte, I have for you, or not Brigitte, Miss Carol, a 3 card, which is the benefactor. It's all about grace and generosity. I find this highly ironic because we were on the phone today and you were telling me all about the good deeds that you're doing, and they are all about this. It's about not only being a benefactor of grace and generosity, but being an ambassador of grace and generosity. It's a fine line, right? It's a balance. We have to be, when you're someone who takes care of other people, someone who works with the public, someone who works with nurturing and healing and all of those things. We're always in that capacity. You're always on, right? No matter where you are in the day, no matter what you're doing in the day, you're always on. But you have to make sure also that the balance is in it, right? That you're getting back what you're giving back. It's not always going to work that way, but we want to make sure that we're kind of getting back what we're giving back. And I think with you, knowing you, but also knowing where things are going, as much as all of us are like, I just want to stay in my home, I just want to stay inside, and I'm freaked out with other people because I'm that way. We have to be more out there, hands-on, like doing the work. When we're not at work, we have to still be out there, like doing the work, hands-on. And that's kind of where it's pushing me for you, because your tendency lately has been like, yeah, sod all of this, right? Like I'm just going to pull back all the way around. There's a certain aspect of that that's self-care for you, but that also cuts you off from the sole purpose of who you are. So you have to be careful with that. Maybe it's time to get involved on a small level moving forward with something that's a little more public in the way that you serve outside of work. I know that that's already a huge ask because you're a nurse, but maybe it's time to do something more on a volunteering level, or taking on a personal project like what you're doing with cooking for your friend, right? But taking on just a little bit more, because you actually have the heart, the capacity, and the time to take on a little bit more. So I think that's kind of where things are for you right now. Miss Betty, it is so good to see you in. I'm so happy to see you in. All right. Betty, did you want a reading? All I saw was everybody saying hey to Betty. Yep, a general reading, please. All right. Let me get you, my darling. I have for you, Miss Betty, an 11 card, which comes down to a 2, and it's called Deep Quiet, Meditation and Stillness. However, it's inverted, which means there ain't nothing meditative or still about you lately. It's all about you kind of being in a tizzy, in a whirlwind, not being able to sit down and really focus, not being able to find your Oh gosh, your calm space, your pace, your normality, where your rhythm is. That's an aspect you need to work on just a little bit. Although with all the energy kicking up right now, this is supposed to be when we all get up off our asses and actually go do all the things that we've been putting off or that we haven't been dealing with. This is the time to kind of kickstart all of that. It's kind of like having nitro up the tail feather, right? It just has to get you moving. Where yours is concerned, a lot of it's about feeling controlled, like in controlled situations with others and in like social groups, work groups, just in general. So it's about you not feeling the love so much. And so that's put you in kind of a thing where you're distancing, having as much communication with people, right? Especially with younger people. You're like, I just can't with you people. But the truth is, they're only younger in Earth years that we gave them, right? In solar returns, how many loops they've made around the sun. I said that to my son yesterday. It was his birthday on Valentine's. And he said, can you believe I'm 13? And I said, can you believe that you've made 13 revolutions around the sun? Good for you. Right? Changes nothing. Happy birthday, but changes nothing. We have to be a little more open with them right now and tolerant. It's really hard sometimes because we're coming from two different realities, two different perspectives of reality. But we really have to be. So try to make that a point. That's going to make things a little bit easier for you. It looks for me like if you can do that, you're going to start moving into a groove for yourself that's really secure. It feels really social and really secure. And that I really love. I think that's an aspect where you need all of that love for sure, right? You need to be able to pull all of that in. Grace, can you come for a second? Because you're being really naughty. Sorry, guys. Y'all know how Gracie is. Gracie, you're super naughty. I wasted my money on a bark collar, right? I need one for Romy too. I was actually joking when I bought that bark collar. I told her, Mayo, if this thing works, I'm going to buy one for you too, right? If it just works on vibration and over vibration of the larynx, he needs one as well. Okay, Betty, that's what I got for you, darling. So hang tight with that, okay? All right. Adriana. I love your name. Adriana Lucia de Santis. I love it. And that's German on the tail end of that? That's fabulous. Okay. Adriana. Basta Gracie Masmetilana. I have a 9 card for you. It's called Dances on One Foot, the Balancing Act. So here we go. Okay. It was inverted when I pulled it. So this is all about like all the chaos for you is kind of coming, it reached the climax. Now it's coming down a little bit. You don't have to jump around on one foot quite as much. You can kind of just relax, which I think has been really hard for you to do. You can let go of the problems, put down all the anxiousness with it that comes with it, anxiety that comes with it, the feeling like you need to pause in situations all the time. It's time to get moving a little bit. You're not on the stage anymore, if that makes any sense to you. There's no spotlight on you right now. It's a really good time for you just to find a really simple, calm, and balance with yourself. Also, we start going into this mindset thing. We always get into these interesting, I won't die, my brain's gone in English, phases in these readings, where it starts taking like a theme, right? It happens every week. With you, it comes into this mindset of not wanting to be out of control. I think you tend to lean yourself financially and emotionally to people too much, or yeah, it feels to me like it's spending too much time, spending too much money, spending too much everything. So this is that time where that balancing on one foot where it's not necessary. It's just about you kind of letting things down, letting your hair down a little bit, taking care of yourself a little bit, trying not to worry quite as much. I think for you, that flexibility, that movement that's going to come in, because we got a lot coming in over the next couple months, it's about you letting yourself off the hook. As far as work and everything else goes, I see everything like life in general. Things for you look like they level out and they get a little bit easier, which is beautiful. Congratulations. Brava. I think everybody in here would love that. But now you can let yourself off the hook, okay? Take some of the pressure off of yourself. Put down the reins. Do you know what I mean? If you've had to be the lead horse pulling the cart, You're good. Somebody else has come in to take that position. So now you can just put it down a little bit and not worry. And try to go at it from that aspect. Just relax a little bit, right? Give yourself the space to be calm. Everything will be good. Okay, and I hope that helped out. Chris, I'm so glad you're just enjoying the show. I really am. I'm glad that you're around, Chris. I love you. And whoever said, I miss you, lady, on Facebook, I can't see who you are, but I probably miss you too, because if you miss me, I probably miss you. Hey, Miss Deborah Walden, good to see you. Melissa, heard and received. You're welcome, sweetheart. Just stay the course, okay? Miss Sandy Gross has a question. You've misplaced your glasses, and it's too late for contacts, so forgive me, but I can't focus on your background, but it's really a beautiful blur. Probably better for me because I didn't put a lot of makeup on. And if we're being honest, probably better for you as well. The light is nice. Makes you want to get your tea lights out. What's the question, sweet girl? Is it about your glasses? Is that what you're trying to find? Okay, then I've got Facebook user who's saying, try me out, chef. You're going to have to let me know who you are. Although I think it's probably Tim. I'm not sure. Hey, Pascal, that's my nephew in Germany. Hey, buddy, you like my sweatshirt? Danke. I like it too. It's really cold here, although I shouldn't be saying that since you're probably freezing your ass off in Germany right now. Deborah, I'm a hot mess, but you love me. Thank you. I am a hot mess, and I love me too, but I'm equally as glad that you love me as well. Makes me really happy. Hi, Miss Fran. Okay, Sandy, make sure you ask your question a little further down, and I'll get to it, okay? Fran, you're saying you lost your cell phone. Can I tell you where it is? I can try, sweetie. Let me focus on it for a minute. I may move forward with another reading, but let me kind of put that in my back pocket and see if I can figure out where you've put this thing. I don't know why I see it in between. I see it in between seats. Were you in a friend's car or in somebody else's car? I don't know why this feels like it fell in between seats, but it feels like somewhere you wouldn't normally be. I don't know if it's like a car or a doctor's office or an office in general or something, but it feels like wherever it went, it just fell out. But I'll keep working on it, okay? Chastity, you've got a mess. Can I tell you what the hell you've got going on in love, please? I don't know, but I bet I got the answer. I bet a dog and a vibrator would fix it all. I just said that out loud, didn't I? I say it a lot, but honestly, it's because it's true. Y'all can scorn me later. I can take it. Don't worry. I'm just here to speak the truth. Yeah, Chastity, let me see what's going on. So I'm pulling a 17, which is an 8. It's the eye of the needle. It's intentionality. But I want to kind of get a read on that real quick and see where things are for you, girl. You know what it is? It's like this whole thing. You're so ready just to like finish up and be done with it all. You're like, I just want things where they need to be, right? I just want everything to have a place and everything to be in its place. I'm just tired of this shit. And I don't want to do it all. You know what I mean? It's that. I don't want to date. You just want like the husband to show up and we're good. And it's what it is. Things are going to finish out, but you are still so protective over you and yours and what you covet as your own space that it puts up like this force field of like, don't F with me. So there's people trying to come in and you're like a little bit receptive being the goddess that you are. And then that part of you kicks in that's like, oh, hell no. So you have to be really careful with that. But there are new beginnings coming in and there are a lot of people hitting on you. Like, I don't know what kind of perfume you're wearing, if you're wearing like a pheromone or something, but you're bringing them in, girl. It may be because it's that time of the year, right? Like breeding season is starting. I don't know. Oh, I'm a mess tonight. I probably need a damn vacation. But you are just hyper attractive to people right now, right? I was going to make a bad joke and say if the humping starts, just let them finish, but probably best you don't in today's world. You just have a lot of people coming in. You're attracting it. There's something about you that's even more attractive right now. I think it's this confidence that you found after you got your house, right? Like there's just something about you I'm hearing it. It's kind of funny. Spirit saying to me, it's like I'm dead sexy, right? Like deadly sexy, kind of in a way. But you're just attracting people in. It's okay. Let them swirl around you. Enjoy the storm, right? Let them do what they do. If you don't feel that pull towards somebody, release them pretty quick. But here's the gig. We were talking about this the other night with Rachel, and I said, I can't even trust my own feelings anymore. I don't think you can either, to be honest. I think you kind of have to give people a longer chance to see who they are, because you're such a tough girl that men get nervous around you. So they tend to kind of put their worst foot forward, right? Like stick that foot right in their mouth. And that's maybe not who exactly they are. Follow your gut. Do you know what I mean? But just realize that maybe your gut's a little befuddled. You're going to be fine. Quit putting on the pheromones. I can tell you that'll help out. I don't put them on. I stink. I don't even take a shower. I try to be as repulsive as I can. If I had a t-shirt that said I haven't shaved in 3 months, I don't think it would matter. I would still have some dude at the gas pump trying to, break it down and get it on. I've always got somebody little ladying me, or I don't even know what. Whew. All right. That was my ranting. Thank you, Sandy. I'll tell Romy you said happy birthday. You had a good birthday. We went to Cracker Barrel. We were living large, right? Living elegant. Romy was living out his dreams. It was awesome. Betty, you are very welcome, honey. Spot on. Brilliant. I'm happy. I can help. Adriana, let's see. You've been going through an 11-year divorce, hoping it's over soon. Jesus Christ. Okay, just so we're saying, I'm not giving any legal advice here because I don't want to get sued later, but darling, it would be easier to bury him than it would be to divorce him, obviously. It's just the marital assets that have to be settled. They're going to get settled. Don't worry about it. That's going to come through. That's what I'm saying, is you kind of have to put that balancing act thing down. It's over. Things are about to settle out. So just stay calm. Just stay tranquilo, huh? Everything's going to work out. Fran, you were in a Chevy Blazer. Listen, I just feel like it's between two seats. It feels like I almost see like leather and plastic, like coming together. That's why I said I wasn't sure if it was a car or like office seats. You know how sometimes the office chairs are like pushed together. I would continue looking in that area. Okay. That would be the best thing that I can tell you. Okay. Sandy said, no, you want to explain what happened. You want to explain to me what I'm looking at in the background. You love it. You are looking at part of the dining room in the kitchen. So this new space, I teach cooking classes for kids and adults, and then I throw private soirees or dinner parties here. So what you're seeing is the kitchen that I created. So this space is all really cool. I'll show you some of it. So picture of ancestor there. These are tomato baskets. These are drying sun-dried tomatoes, which I actually do because I'm old school and weird like that. And then this is part of the new kitchen. It's a big commercial kitchen. It goes all the way around. But yeah, I'm glad you like it. That's what I do. I decorate and I cook. And I tell people probably what they don't want to hear all the time, but I still tell them. All right. Friend, I'm telling you, just keep looking in that car, okay? Chastity, straight facts, girl. I'm telling you, Chastity, there's just something right now that's on you, man. It's a pheromone. Sammy, you can ask another question. That's totally fine. I remember years ago, because my dad was like the worst. That's the only word I can use. Scottish, cowboy, drank all the time. And he was funny. I'm not going to lie. Total asshole, but funny. And I remember one year he gave me a huge bottle of Chanel at Christmas. And I thought, what is this redneck doing buying me Chanel? I'm like hosing myself down. And then he yelled at me to go out to the horse barn. He wanted me to go feed the horses. And when I walked out, he said, be careful not to get raped. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, it's buck lure, idiot. Are you getting where I'm going with the pheromone? I was hosed down, and all I could think of was, oh my God, I'm on a farm with buck lure all over me. I'm going to get nailed. No pun intended. Like, this is not going to be good. And you got that same thing. It's like somebody just hosed you down with some kind of, I don't know, some kind of hormone. Oh my gosh. All right. Chastity, let me see. You haven't wore anything. It's crazy. Brian's hot and cold, so you don't know whether to move on or hold on. Why do you have to do either one? just let it be. I mean, just let it be and let him come out of crazy and kind of see where things are, right? Like everybody's going through this. We're always going through the same movements universally. We express it in different ways. So maybe the best thing to do is just not to have an expectation. Just let it be and let him come out of it. Adriana, you're welcome, sweetie. You have a wonderful night as well, okay? And Freda, good luck with this. I hope everything kicks off and that you find your phone. Do I have any love messages for Miss Fran? Let's see. Love messages. I'll put it this way, Fran. If I don't, you need to contact Chastity because apparently she's got that shit on lock. Okay, for you, I've got a 59, my darling, and that is going to come to, what is 16? No, 14, which comes back down to 5. Sorry. I used to be blonde. It just is what it is. This is called the Wailing Tree. It's reconciliation. So this is about a lot of things that you've had to let go of. I don't see things coming in on that sense. I think you have changes coming in, but there's a certain, God, how do I say this? There's a certain naivety with you with relationships, and that you tend to be the supporting role, the mother or the nurturer, the one who's always fixing. I think you need to be more focused on not fixing. It feels for me like you promote a lot of other people, but you don't promote yourself. So I think this is a time where you kind of sit back, where things kind of calm down. You sit back and you actually put your foot down with some things. Where I'm telling other people to be flexible tonight, I think you need to be less flexible. I think you need to be more firm with things. So any potential for love coming in that's healthy and beneficial for the long term, I don't see it right now. I think you have some minor tweaks and adjustments that need to be made, but that doesn't mean that it's not coming in. When you tweak things, when you fix things a little bit and you kind of redirect yourself in a different frequency, the right things will come in. So hang tight. Chastity, sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, you're just going to do that. I think that's the right thing to do. All right, Sammy, let's see what we got, sweetie. Sammy said you met someone unexpected named Flynn when you'd sworn off love for over a year while you found yourself. Could I clarify or not about him, please? And thank you. Absolutely. And friend, you're welcome, sweetheart. Absolutely. Flynn. Why do I feel bad boys on you, Sammy? I feel like you attract these guys, not bad in the sense of that they're all, D-bags or anything, but you like people who push limits a little bit. I think it's because you're a little bit that way, but I think it also brings out even more of that playful nature in you. Let me know if Flynn has darker hair. I don't want to pull in somebody with darker hair. Listen, where Flynn's concerned, I think Flynn on the deep side of things, like deep down, has kind of kind of a pirate soul. I guess that's the right way to put it. Gracie's agreeing with me. Flynn can be two things. Flynn can be very grounded and stable, and Flynn can be kind of all over the place, okay? So there's kind of a duality there that's nice. There's parts of that work really, really well for you. One of the things that I get a little concerned about is stability for Flynn. I know it's something you crave, but it's interesting to kind of watch how you guys are going through the same movement at the same time. You guys are kind of growing at the same time. So I think Flynn has come in to do that with you, to kind of be your muse, to kind of be that joy, to be stable when you need him to be fun when you need him to be. So it's a relationship that should be had. I just wouldn't put any real strong parameters on it yet. Do you know what I mean? Just let it kind of serve. Let it serve. That's the only word I have. Let it serve. And yes, he does have dark hair. That's the guy I'm pulling in. Hey, Grace Kelly, veramente vieni qui. Stai zitta. Vieni qua. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a definite function in your life. I can't say whether he's somebody that is long-term, but he's here for what he's here to do, if that makes sense. So let him be in that, right? Just kind of go with the flow. I like Flynn. I think with Flynn, he reminds me of a guy that I met not too long ago. He's somebody fun to hang out with, but I would also like to kick him in the balls every once in a while. I think Flynn has a mouth on him. Look who's talking, right? Hello, pot, meet kettle. But yeah, like he's extremes in both ways. He's extreme in both ways, but it's totally fine. So yeah, just let him do what he needs to do. Hello, Mr. Kincaid. Nice to have you in. Oh, Brigitte, you do have a baby on the way. One of your sons has got a baby on the way? Awesome. I'm telling you, I feel it. I don't know why that baby's coming in so strong for me. That baby just resonates so dang much, but that is super cool. I'm so excited. I love it. Maybe we can collectively come up with a name. I wonder if he would be open to letting a bunch of strangers name his kid. It would probably be something weird like Bartholomew Finkelstein Rinaldi. Like if all of us came up with a name, that's what it would be. Sammy, you love that he's exactly what he is. First time and you're not pushing things, just stay there. All right, pushing never does anything good. It just makes people crazier than they probably naturally already are. I know I'm that way if I get pushed. Holy moly. Hey, Elise. Late but here. Were you eating, Elise? I know how you love to go eat in the middle of my shows. We're glad you're here this week, girl. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Definitely a long time. Maybe Grace has calmed down now. Have you calmed down with the bark collar that doesn't work? Can I just tell you? The damn thing was like $70 and it does not work. Guess what's going back tomorrow? Bark collar. He's already named. Oh, nice, Brigitte. What did they name him? That's so sweet. I'm telling you guys, I'm so angry sometimes that I'm too old to give birth anymore. I love being a mom. Makes me sad that I'm at this point, the only thing that my ovaries are pushing is dust. I would probably have another 3 or 4 if I could afford to do it. Maybe I just need to do the whole baby mama thing. I didn't do that. I just married poorly the first time. I found the hottest dude that didn't make any money and started breeding. There's my life. Oh, Lord. Well, I'm glad everybody came in tonight. It's so happy. I'm so happy. Sammy, that totally resonates. Good. Stay in it. I'm so happy everybody came in. You guys are amazing. And I know after Monday it was so heavy that tonight I just wanted to have some fun and play with you guys and have a good time and keep things kind of light and be goofy like I normally am. And I'm going to tell you guys, kind of going through this week, watch the energy shifts. There's going to be so many of them. You guys, when you find yourself getting pissed off, see if you can keep like a standard joke or phrase that really makes you laugh a lot, kind of on tap, kind of in your back pocket, because it's going to be a little wild. You got to look again and write it down, Brigitte? Okay, no worries. Am I doing readings, Elise? Is a frog's butt watertight? Absolutely. I will absolutely be happy to do one for you. I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing me run my mouth anyway. All right, yours is a 6. It's called the Watchers. It's transpersonal. Can you see it? Ooh, girl, you getting stalked. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's, hang on one second. Sorry, Romy? Sorry, my son just came peeking out of the door of responsibility to take the dog, and now he's turned back into his cave. Okay. Anyway, this is the Watchers for you, though, is a little bit different. You are being guided to make some big decisions, and definitely some decisions regarding like, okay, there's always the work undertone with you, but also other people, like how you love and take care of other people. You're being guided really strong. And I feel like there's just there's been like this hammer of pushing down on you, trying to get you to make big changes, trying to get you to kind of bust out of your own ego. We all have to do that, right? We all have an ego, but trying to get you to loosen up and bust out of that a little bit. Again, out of old mindsets, because you missed the first part of the show, but this has been a constant theme through the whole thing. And it's really about that. It's all about separating from all that old crap, all those old ideas you had, so you can bring in new stuff. Because I really want to see you like ooey gooey, stupid in love. I want to see you just like rolling in it. Like, I don't know, like mud wrestling with chocolate, but in love. What the hell? I don't know where this stuff is coming from, but I just want to see you like in that level of bliss, right? Like that level of ecstasy and joy. I don't want to see it, but you know what I'm saying. I want to hear about it later in great detail. But I want to see you at that point in your life. There's so much that has to be let go of. And I think you've been working on that, but I think you're going to keep getting your ass kicked. I think you have things that are bigger than you, things from outside yourself, your guides, if you want to call it that, God, if you want to call it that, the universe, the collective is kind of pushing you to do that so that you can claim everything that you deserve that makes you happy. So get out of your own way, girl. Let's get the head out of the bum. We're not going to be an ostrich with the head in the sand. Let's focus on the hot chocolate or milk chocolate mud wrestling life instead of pushing our way through it. I think that's what's going to work best with you. That was so weird, but it's all good. Sometimes I just come off with some weird stuff. All right, cutie butts. Anybody else? We're getting close to that time. It's been a lot of fun in here tonight, actually. You guys have brought my energy way up. Not that it was bad, but I woke up to a car with a dead battery and had to order one. And get this, an Uber driver brought it. I ordered it from AutoZone, and the guy showed up, and I'd already taken the old battery out and like had all the housing out of the car for the come si chiama, the air thing, the air vent, whatever it is. And the guy showed up and looked super freaked out that a little woman was tearing the car apart. And I was like, what? And he was like, I'm from Uber. I've got your battery. I'm like, sweet, quit looking at me and just put the damn thing on the ground. I've got things to do. Okay, who's me? Facebook user, who's me? You got to tell me who you are. I'm good at my job, but there's a whole lot of people. Oh, Sammy, thank you. Thank you so much, sweet girl. I'm just so glad you're with us too. Your energy's been awesome, and I hope you come back to visit. We will have Rachel next Monday, and I'm usually on Tuesdays. So make sure that you like the network so that you can keep up with the shows, because Rachel's a hot mess too, Sammy. I'm here to tell you. It's Sean. Is it my cousin Sean? I think it might be my little cousin Sean, guys, whom I have not seen in probably 20 years. Hey, Mika Robinson. Girl, better late than never to this party, right? Awesome, Sammy. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, it's my cousin Sean. My cousin Sean wants a reading. How about that? I'll be happy to do one for you, Shawnee Pants. Sean, you have a 25 card, which comes down to a 7. And I was saying this earlier. 7s for me are really interesting numbers because they're all about creating your own fortune, creating your own luck, kind of creating your own way in things, right? It's a powerful number. And yours is called the Garden of Venus, rest and renewal, but it's upside down. So let me pull it back so you can see it. There we go. Which means there's no rest and renewal coming for you, my friend. If you have got projects going on or ideas for work or side projects that you've been thinking about, those things are going to start taking off. Now's kind of the time to move forward with things, because I think you tend to procrastinate in a way of self-protection where it's like, I'm just easy. Do you know what I mean? I like to keep things easy cheesy so I don't have to be freaked out or overwrought or whatever. It is a protective thing. And that's fine, but it's pushing you. Something's coming in that's going to be pushing you to do something for yourself that kind of pushes you into your comfort zone, not out of your comfort zone, actually pushing you into somewhere where you should already be. So whatever this is, I feel like also with your girlfriend, I don't know if you guys have been talking about getting married, but she comes in, because it already feels like you guys are, but she comes in for me and really pushes you to believe in yourself, really pushes you to want more, to be okay with wanting more. Do you know what I mean? Not more stuff, just more in general. And so she really comes through and pushes you hardcore that way. And it almost feels like you've been like holding yourself back, self-defeating yourself of not wanting to take on new journeys in life. You're like, no, I'm just good where I'm at. But she's kind of a game changer. She's all about change. So you're going to have to kind of roll with that. But there's a lot going on with this. I also see something coming in with homes. So maybe some of the stuff is regarding like your home life or home in general. But it feels for me like things are really going to start moving for you. I feel them already moving, if you want me to be honest. And I think even going back into last month, the wheel was kind of turning, but it feels like now it's not just the wheel turning, but you're like on the wheel. Do you know what I mean? It's like riding like on the logs. Do you know what I mean? How the lumberjacks ride the rolling logs? Kind of feels like that. So things are moving forward. So whatever it is that's coming in regarding you guys around projects or home or mission things you want to take, almost like your own mission statement, like things you want to take on, trust her lead in the way that she pushes and open yourself up and let it happen, okay? That's the best thing you're going to do for yourself. Mika, don't even worry that you're running late, girl. I've got you. Grace Kelly, I'm going to not have you in a minute. This dog. Okay. I'm the one in menopause, right? I'm the one that's supposed to be losing my shit. This dog cannot keep her life together. Okay, Mika. Let's get it. Oh, spot on awesome, Shawnee. I'm happy, baby doll. All right, Mika, did I miss what? You just want a general reading, right? Okay. Generally speaking, here we go. Darling, I have for you a 55 card, which is the farther gate. So 55 is going to come down to a 1, right? So it's all about you. And this is about the bold step forward. Again, inverted also. I've had a couple of inverted cards in the last few minutes. So this one is all about you not taking big steps right now. This is about you kind of stepping back in what you already have and where you are and making peace and sense of that before you move on to something else. Sometimes I feel like with you, you will distract yourself by finding a new thing to focus on so that you don't have to completely focus on what's in the present. And this is more saying just like stay in the present, right? Finish up with everything here and then move on. But it's kind of urging you to not do that again, to not keep going in that pattern, to kind of break that cycle, break that pattern. So it's being fully present, being fully representative, being fully responsible and control, and finishing what's in front of you now before you take on the next mission, okay? Before you take on the next thing. Don't get distracted by all the shiny kitties and the shiny jewels and all that stuff. Focus on where you are right now, okay? That's the major thing I see coming up for you. Because even though you are someone who can commit to other people decently, and I say decently, not 100%, you have a really hard time committing to yourself. So I need you to commit to yourself. Don't take on something new, okay? Don't start something new. Don't get out of control. Stay where you are. Work on the things that are already there, and everything's going to be just fine, okay? All right, guys. Well, I guess we're coming to the tail end of it. I've got 2 minutes left to share my universal wisdom with you. So here it is. And it is a famous, famous quote by Confucius. He who farts in church sits in his own pew. Sit with that. Let that resonate. Carry that through the week. It will definitely keep you out of some bad situations and probably out of some stinky situations. I love you guys all very, very much. Thanks for coming in, guys. It's been a blast. It's been awesome, awesome, awesome being with you guys. And we'll see you Monday with Rachel. I'm not sure if Wanda's going to be in on Sunday. She's still got COVID. So I don't know. But we'll see you for sure on Monday with Rachel. We love you.